is the Satin Lounge. Breathe it in. This is the place where we celebrate creativity and innovation of the LGBT community. Tonight, I am beyond grateful to be sitting face to face with someone that I describe as a pioneer and one of our LGBT legends in film and storytelling. Her films, as I'm sure most of us can relate, are in fact part of the fabric of our lives and our experiences. Films like Clear of the Moon, the documentary Motions, Sonara, Poetry and Motion, baby. The most recent effort, Elena Undone. I know, right? We might need to take a minute and breathe that in. She's written 5 novels, a parent's guide, 2 teleplays, 9 screenplays, has produced 4 soundtracks, has a gorgeous
lady woman.
Gorgeous lady woman.
That is a joke. She's my soulmate.
Okay. She has a gorgeous soulmate, 6 children, and a brand new captivating project on the way. Satin Lounge, please help me welcome the extraordinarily gifted writer and director, Nicole Conn.
Thank you so much. Now, can I just drink in your voice? That is exquisite. You have a delicious...
Okay, you make me blessed. Stop that.
That is my favorite word, reserved only for the best. Delicious. That's what your voice is.
Wow, I am honored. I'm being called delicious by Nicole Conn. I don't know what to do with that. I need to breathe that in. Hold on. Thank you. I got that. Listen, you are such an amazing storyteller, be it in novels or visually in films. Where did your love for storytelling come from?
I kid you not, I'm one of those lucky people who knew what I was passionate about in 3rd grade. I wrote a short story, and my stepfather signed me. He became my agent.
In the 3rd grade, you were writing?
Yes, I was writing. Wow. And then I was cutting out all Brenda Starr comics and recreating the story the way I want it with another woman.
I love that. Wait a minute, 3rd grade?
Yes.
We are writing.
We are writing, and we are creating storyboards of, various female comic book heroines. Uh-huh. And then we go through high school, do a lot in writing in school. Mm-hmm. But when I finished school, I decided not to go to college, went to the School of Hard Knocks, and learned a lot about life and started writing novels at that time. But I was partying too much, couldn't get anything done. So,
it happens.
Quit drinking, and I wrote my first novel, which really sucked. And then I went into accounting college.
Accounting college?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Where are we?
Because I realized I needed to make a living once I got sober. I couldn't just hang out and, booze it up all day long. So I went to the college, graduated, was a controller for a company, and I realized this passionate thing that I had called writing was gone. So I would get up at 4:30, and from 4:30 to 6:30, I'd write however many pages to this first novel that I was writing, which was called The Bottom Line, which became Passion Shadow, which... Simon Schuster picked up years later.
But what discipline that took for you to, have a regular 9-to-5 or whatever it was, and then still pursue your dreams. I think it's a balance that we all have trouble with, and it's nice to see that you had that early.
Well, I thankfully was able to do that early, but I do tell all new writers. Write a sentence a day, write a paragraph a day, write a page a day, and at the end of a year, you will have either 365 sentences or a book.
That's a wonderful way to look at it. 365 sentences is better than nothing. That's wonderful. Keep that in mind, Satin Lounge, okay? These are the jewels that fall from the lips of Nicole Conn. That's right. Not only are you a brilliant filmmaker, you've created these 5 novels. That writing is your core skill, isn't it?
Well, writing was my core skill. I believe directing is my best skill, and I've now also become pretty much a full-time editor as well. I've edited all my films, so
really,
those are my 3.
I love editing, by the way.
Yes. It is where it happens. I would say those are my 3 best things. But what I pride myself on most is being a mother. I just want to say that because my kids are really important to me.
They obviously are. I mean, since we're speaking of you being this amazing mom, I think it was a couple of years ago, 2010 or somewhere in there, where you created this amazing project, this documentary for your son Nicholas, highlighting his 100 years, Lord. Thank God it wasn't 100 years, 100 days of being a preemie. That was a very authentic journey for you. What made you decide to do that, film that?
You know what? I think in retrospect, it was self-preservation. I just, was living it, and to stay this far away from it made it bearable, just bearable. And it also has become, because the privacy laws were enacted, the month I quit shooting were enacted. You will never see this film again. You can't shoot in the NICU. You can't shoot in the NICU.
Wow.
So this film is seen endlessly, and it is sort of the preemie community's movie.
Well, you've done a lot of work in the community about that particular subject. Can you tell me about Preemie World?
Yeah, Preemie World was a company that Deb DeSenza, who ran Preemie Magazine, and I decided to put together. There was nothing out there for preemie moms that spoke to us. We needed a book that had layperson's language, and so we created the handbook, the guidebook to surviving the NICU, using terms that the doctors use, but explaining them in mom's language. So we wrote that book. There's a bunch of different really high-end product on Preemie World, and that's one of my sort of second passions. I can't devote enough time to it. Deb runs most of the business, but we sell Little Man there and the guidebook and a bunch of other things.
Little Man is the name of the documentary. You're just so passionate in pretty much everything that you create. Obviously, did not go unnoticed. 12 awards for that particular documentary.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If I had anything to do with it, I'd be 13. I really think that was a really amazing effort. Speaking of your passion, I want to rewind a little bit about some of your older films that you created. Okay. Claire of the Moon, back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, there weren't many films about lesbian life at all that I could remember. Not good ones. Ooh, I hope I'm not stepping on toes.
No.
But there really weren't very many good ones anyway during that time.
Well, there was Desert Hearts, which was
Desert Hearts
awesome.
Oh, yes. And I love the intimacy in that film as well. Don't make me have to. Anyway, but let me tell you.